Resistance at 32 for a while now. Pulse break. Wait, no. RSI's at 30. Tight build up. 30 to 32. No way. Holy shit. It's coming.
It is coming, guys. The rate hikes came. Jay Powell, you heard it here first last week on Stock Talk Live, 175. That's another ice call from Stock Talk Live. There's a lot of more things coming, but it's only an hour show, so let's get right into it. Well, first things first, Jay Powell came through like I knew he would. I mean, not that I was rooting for this, but he's not going to play the Bank of Canada. He did it, 0.75, stuck to his guns. He's a what is it? It's not a Biden shell. He's not going to be swayed by elections. No, he did it, and all right, good for him. It was the right move. It was the right move. You got it. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Just on that, really quick. Yeah. Another person not on board with the elections. Elon Musk said that it's going to be a little bit longer until banned accounts are added back to Twitter. Before his, I don't know what they're calling it, accountability board or something, his council can meet. So that would happen after elections next week.
Yeah. What accounts are still banned? I know it's not financial, but like Project Veritas.
Real Donald Trump.
Oh, duh. Yeah. All right. Good job, Rob. Stole for the day right there.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones and. I think Project Veritas. I know there's somebody else. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I mean, there's probably tons, but yeah. I mean, I love how the market initially rallied on the language, and then Jay Powell was like, "No, I'm raising anyway." So hey, guys.
Yeah, that was a really weird Dow chart today. Like it started spiking. I saw VIX was going down 10 minutes before the announcement. There's a big rally. Right once the meeting started, market rallied like 300 points and then crashed right back down.
Yeah,
much like another ticker did earlier this week. We can talk about that later.
We can talk about that right now. That was crazy.
So
I'm sorry, but like
really? we talk GameStop every week here. It's my only holding, not financial advice.
Yeah, definitely not.
But there was some shenanigans going on with Ortex reporting this week. Let's see if I got it. I know I have it.
No, that was ridiculous. I mean,
so this is Ortex data. Borrowed shares going up 41.3 million or 43 million. Total borrowed shares, and then the next day a huge spike to 100. So this was Friday. This stuff like really came out Friday and into the weekend, and on Monday GameStop pre-market and the first like half hour of trading for the day was up 18%.
Yeah, and
then it closed the day up less than 1%. I don't know what happened there. It's pretty bizarre, but I think it was largely driven by an announcement that we got. Big in the news, the CEO of S3 Partners, Bob Sloan, talked about GameStop, and I you read about GameStop, like somebody like me, I'm reading about this stock every single day, and the large sentiment was we can listen to the clip in a second. If what he says is actually like what was going to happen, why would anybody tell? Why would you say the what the price target was? Is that a Dogfish Head IPA glass, by the way?
It's actually Sam Adams, and for the viewers at home, trust me, this is a Polar Seltzer because I have a little bit of work to do after the show.
I have a Dogfish Head glass that looks just like that.
Yeah, it's the old Sammy pint glass that they used to do. I mean, they still probably have them, but this one's like from way back in the day. I mean, probably when I had brown hair, to be honest with you.
So here's Bob Sloan, CEO of S3 Partners, talking about GameStop.
Is there enough short activity right now or short volume or float that's in the market right now to cause anything near the type of scale that we saw at the beginning of 2021?
If you look at GME, I think there's still $1.2 billion short in the stock. If the stock goes past $30, you could see something parabolic.
So a lot of people ran with that. And it did hit $30. It not only hit $30, it hit $34. And then just got smashed right back down. Halted twice, once on the way up, once on the way down. So for those listeners, viewers, if you're not aware, there's like checks and balances in the market, right? If there's a huge run up, like we saw, is 18% in just a couple minutes, there are circuit breakers that trip and trading is halted on the security for 5 minutes. And it's a signal. Everybody calm down, and then we'll resume trading. And so the same thing happened on the way down. It's going down too fast. We're going to halt it. And it seems that every time GameStop gets halted, especially on runs up, that momentum really, really gets killed.
I think it's kind of, I mean, obviously, whoever the powers that be, use that time to, get together, start shorting the stock again, borrowing shares at God knows what. And that's probably what happened. I mean, we can sit here and speculate all we want, but, I don't think I'll tell you though, it's at 20, what is that, 25 right now, 25.80 or something like that?
Yeah, roughly. I don't really pay attention to the price too much.
No, I know. It's not going to take much to get to 30. And if there is a lot of short, if there is a lot of short interest at 30 and a lot of people have to cover, then yeah, they're going to have to buy.
And I'll tell you what, as a long time holder, 30 is nothing because that's 120 before the split.
No, exactly.
And that's nothing. So the large sentiment was wake me up at 45 because that would be 180 pre-split. And in the last year and a half, GameStop's only closed above that number 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing too is I think a lot, like the market, I think a lot of people are just looking to, just obviously it's the end of the year. A lot of people are looking to make a quick buck. I mean, it's fucking November. If you're losing money right now, you got a nice, negative, return on your fund, your personal investments. Yeah, there are a lot of people who chase.
Kathy Wood, talking to you.
Yeah.
Kathy Wood manages ARK Capital, and I just read something. She's way, way down on her Roku stock.
I mean, Roku, it's a great product. I don't know, but
I don't use it.
It's not bad. I got no complaints. Although they did try to, scam my wife and I when someone called and told us we were out of, we owed them money. I mean, I just told them I was from the FBI, and that put an end to that shenanigans.
I had something loosely related to GameStop from last week. Fidelity put out a post on LinkedIn that was deleted after harsh criticism. So they put out a little Halloween. Robbie, those, what is it, Party City or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
The Halloween costume store is. All those memes for the Halloween costumes. So Fidelity wanted to get in on the fun. These are real screenshots from their LinkedIn post before it was deleted. So they got a whole gang there. You can dress up like a trader. And let's just go through because they had a couple different outfits. The active trader seems kind of lazy to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
The Gen Z trader with that ring light. Another one seems kind of lazy to me. The meme stock guy. Oh, with popcorn. And we looked at his feet with the dollar signs. I like those socks.
The socks are nice. I have to give it that.
The Tech Trader Pro.
Right.
Again, seems like a lazy costume. And the Day Trader Mom. And I just thought that this was a really long way of going about making fun of the meme stock guy. And that was generally the response on the LinkedIn post was, professionals commenting on this and saying, you're calling legitimate companies meme stocks. Like these are publicly traded companies that people run. They make their successful businesses and people invest in them. And you're trying to make their investors look like, sloppy. Look at this guy. He looks sloppy. There's popcorn all over his feet. He doesn't even have real shoes on.
No. I mean,
but the purple ring,
what is that from?
Is telling that. So if you directly register your shares on ComputerShare and you log into if you log into your profile, your shares are represented by a purple ring. So I only have GameStop shares directly registered in my ComputerShare account. So mine is a full purple ring because it's 100% GameStop. If you had like IRA shares in there, then it's represented by like an orange sliver.
I wonder why they,
Speaking of, big news. Big news. Over 57%.
I don't know. Can you imagine how much people are charging the freaking paying to borrow right now off that?
I deleted the tab, but I think it was like 14% to borrow, cost to borrow. Reported.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot.
57%. That's about 1% in the last 2 weeks.
It's not surprised.
And the speculation is that as it gets closer to 100%, it's only going to go faster.
Yeah, it's going to squeeze the stock. I mean,
a dude on Reddit this week actually posted screenshot proof he dropped $500,000 on GameStop shares that he plans on directly registering them. $500,000 purchase, nice.
Yeah,
as my man Jim Rome says, 500 gur.
I know, right? He not Jim Rome, but no, I think a lot of people. I mean, hey, look, you got cash to play right now. I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean, other than buy energy. I mean, because we all know, diesel's definitely not getting better. That shortage is just happening. I mean,
it's a shortage, but from what I've read, we're not in danger of running out.
Yeah, I hope not. Jesus, no, but I think you're going to start to see a shift now towards. I mean, Zero Hedge had something on this today that people are going to start rotating to the energy stock because they can't I mean, we can't just borrow draw down the strategic oil reserve to nothing. Eventually they're going to have to refill it too. So
So we mentioned last time U.S. holding about 25 days worth of diesel fuel in reserves. From what I've read, typically we hold like mid 30s, like that many days worth. Yeah. So it's not crazy, but it is the lowest since 2008, I believe.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of things are at lowest or highest since 2008. You see that a lot.
I know. It's never a good year to to compare yourself to. I mean, I started at $6 a gallon at the local gas station I go to. It was at $5.90 at the cheapest one, and then it was at $6.20 or something at over the bridge in Quincy, whatnot.
Shout out Fitzy.
Yeah, I know, man. Coops and that place he goes to. I drove by that the other day. I didn't stop in. If you got a Whaling, 12-month-old, it really doesn't work out. Um, no, it's just it'll be really it is going to be interesting to see what happens with GME and also energy and whatnot. Um, I also wonder too how much with GME you can't. I mean, there's only a certain segment of the population that can borrow GME shares at 14%. So what happens when that goes to like 2025? I mean, because then it almost becomes not even worth it. You have to make 25% profit to, I mean, like eventually, like you can't just, eventually this has to stop.
There's a lot of talk of swaps expiring today or needed to be rolled forward or closed that came up today. These are 2-year-old swaps
On GME.
And something, honestly, I didn't include it in my prep because I didn't even, I'm not smart enough to understand swaps that much. And it's it's a daunting concept, I think. And it's a lot of it's speculation too.
It's pure speculation.
But it is tied to Archegos and Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse had real bad news Thursday. We were last on Wednesday. They had real bad news Thursday morning. And I asked my boss, I said, we're a smaller company. I said, if I told you for Q3 we're going to have a $200,000 loss and we lost 1.4 million, would you be pissed at me? And she's like, I'd start firing people left and right. And, Credit Suisse thought that they were going to have a $500 million quarterly loss, but ended up taking a $4 billion loss.
Credit Suisse got killed. I mean, it's just, I don't know what they should do.
They estimated 567 million and actually lost 4 billion.
Yeah,
in 3 months.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, they're not doing well, to say the least. I mean, it's not a news flash or anything, but they have problems. It's all been pretty well documented too. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I know that they were looking. Didn't they get money from Saudi Arabia or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who told them not to blink when going through this overhaul?
Yeah. Good luck.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I mean, better minds than me to figure that one out. Credits. I mean, the only thing is, I think a lot of people, understand this, but I think there's a lot of fear if Credit Suisse goes, then UBS and Deutsche and other European banks will start a contagion. I mean, you could argue that, like in Europe right now, that there is there's definitely high potential of contagion. I mean, how long is Credit Suisse going to be able to, sustain, ridiculous losses like that? I know they're slashing headcount too. I think I saw that in that article. And, eventually when talent leaves the door, clients leave too. So it's not good. But,
no.
And capital raises, dude, are never a good sign. Like, come on. We all remember what happened with Lehman. Not to keep going back to that, but they announced they needed a capital raise, and that company closed doors in, September, I think it was 13th, 14th, and 15th Lehman weekend. It's not good, to say the least.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a red October. Some more fireworks or something. Made it through.
I was too. I was a little. I think the market's so focused on this Fed pivot, but you really look at it like, GDP came out. It was up like 2.6%. Well, no, it was up 2.4. Well, 2.6 of it was literally the LNG exports at like ridiculously high prices. That's not really awesome economic growth. And like arms sales to Ukraine. So, look, if we're not at war and energy isn't like ridiculous, our economy didn't even grow at all. It was like negative 0.2%. And, people were out and being like, "Oh, we're, you know, American economy's fine." Well, yeah, if you're in the defense industry and the energy industry, yeah, you're doing great. But everyone else is just getting killed. I think it was what was her name? I don't think it was. I think Apple came out today and said that they're doing they're freezing hiring in 2000 and next year, 2023. I think it was them.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not. I don't know.
You mentioned Ukraine really quick. I did
Yeah,
see from Unusual Whales yesterday, American military personnel are now in Ukraine to help keep track of the billions of dollars worth of weapons and equipment the United States has sent since the start of the Russian invasion, a senior U.S. defense official and senior U.S. military official said per NBC.
Yeah,
Now we're tracking it.
yeah. I mean,
Also saw on The Guardian, I'm just going through my list, government tests energy blackout emergency plans as supply fears grow.
yeah,
We've been talking about that for months now.
No, I know. I mean,
with Europe and potentially regular scheduled blackouts, like 3-hour daily blackouts in the UK, in Europe. Germany gave their citizens money for December's energy bill already. National Grid over here.
Yeah,
announcing price hikes.
Yeah, 60%. I mean, Jesus. They had some like corny commercial on. They were like, "Oh, well, we'll help you out." It's like, really? Like,
you just want my money.
Yeah, it's like, get out of here. Get that. Don't come to freaking Rob V and spew that crap. You need to get your life together. I saw the thing about the emergency blackouts. I mean, if there's like blackouts for 3 hours a day, I mean that's gonna crush any country or European or not, anyone who does that. I mean, imagine not having power for 3 hours a day. It's not good. Can't really build much, Kind of need a little bit. Housing took a digger. I mean, housing keeps taking a digger. I mean,
it's bad.
No, it's
let me get some figures for you.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, I think that Wells Fargo's mortgages are off 90%, and I think other banks are probably at the same rate. I mean, it's just crazy out there, in housing right now. I mean, we're starting to see price cuts, and a lot more price cuts in my neighborhood. I know that much.
Okay, I got it. Housing. So looking at the impact on housing with that 75 basis point hike today, if you had been approved for a $300,000 mortgage at the beginning of this year, that would be equivalent to less than $200,000 today.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the rates are at 7. I mean, that's killing buying power for everybody. I mean, I just think that so many people right now who probably want to buy a house but can't because of the interest payments. And and that's really unfortunate, obviously.
I saw it was if your payment was like around $1,300 at the beginning of this year, you're looking at over $2,000 right now because of the interest rate hikes.
Yeah, I mean,
so you're going to end up spending about an extra $200,000 over the life of your mortgage.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean,
a 30-year, that is.
No, I know. I mean, I don't.
Just going through my notes, I see with that basis point hike, I was telling my buddies, it's interesting to look at my watch list and see how everything was reacted to the announcement. Because the only two things that went up right at the Fed announcement was Bitcoin spiked, and weirdly enough, Odyssey spiked.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, still under 40 cents a share, but I don't know why Odyssey went up on interest rate news. It reacted the opposite to the market. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, life comes at you fast.
I keep that one on my watch list because I'm waiting for them to be delisted. It's been under $1 for so long.
Oh, I know.
They're on the brink.
Well, you know, there was something about like a third of small businesses couldn't like afford their rent or something like that this month. I mean, there's a lot of businesses, unfortunately, that are on the brink right now. I mean, a lot of people are just getting out completely. You know, I mean, you look at the like destruction that's going to happen in Europe over the winter. I mean, my God. I mean, that's going to be very real. I mean, that story has kind of faded from the news pages. I mean, but I mean, energy costs just aren't going to go down in Europe overnight. You know, yeah, is it what country is that? I completely forgot. Wish my headphones would stay on. That'd be nice. Yeah. Is that Great Britain or is that? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, we all have faced like a cold winter. I mean, who knows? Although it's been warm lately, so who knows? Maybe we're all just going to be 50 degrees in January. You know. I mean, I wouldn't bank on that. It's not an official weather report. You know. One thing that I think that hasn't really been talked about, or not lately at least, is manufacturing starting to contract. You know, domestically. I mean, Dallas Fed came out. That was still negative. I think it was at negative 19.5, and I think the PMI again was negative. I mean, you know, economy is not roaring. I'll tell you that much. But I don't know. You know, I mean, what is roaring right now? You know, how do people make money? You know, you can't exactly be a degenerate Keno gambler and get by in life. It's not going to do you good. So I don't know.
Just keep betting Nick Chubb anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah, I know. It's always a good call, actually. Did he score on one? I don't even know.
He had 2. Yeah.
Oh, he had 2?
Yep.
No, that is a good. I mean, they'll get your electric bill paid. Hopefully, I don't know.
The thing is, he's scoring so much that now it's not even plus money anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's usually like minus 120.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, Bruins last night. I mean, I went to bed.
What a comeback, huh?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I went to bed last night and I was like, "Well, this game's over," because I knew I was gonna have a busy day today. I was just like, "The heck with it." And then when I got when I woke up, I was like, "Wow, it's 6-5. That's nice." I was like, "It's a nice surprise."
They're rolling.
Yeah, they are. They're rolling big time.
Hit the Rice Bucket, episode 33 tomorrow night, 7:00.
Yeah. I know. Hit the Rice Bucket's had 33 episodes.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I mean, one thing that is interesting is not really on financial, but I'm kind of surprised to see the market hasn't really rallied on the election a little bit more, because the only reason why I say that is because the market really doesn't like it when like one political party's in power. It really enjoys gridlock, like tremendously, because nothing can get done.
Yeah.
And basically, like, if you believe the pundits and if you believe like Real Clear and like a bunch, basically we will have gridlock. But you have the President Biden, for 2 years Democrat, and then potentially, depending on who you listen to, I mean, the House and Senate will be Republican. So it kind of, a lot. It's definitely a plus sign when nothing's getting done in Washington. Yeah. I mean,
start looking at Smith and Wesson stock. Remington.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you had like all D's down the board, I think you would probably get that. I think with I don't know. You never know. I mean, Smith and Wesson, they did great during the Obama years. That was a great company. I mean, they did awesome I forget the return on that, but I know it was insane.
Tried and true.
Yeah. No. You want to make money? Go buy gun stocks. It's good times. I think what's probably going to happen, I think the market could go up next week. To be honest with you, it's not a prediction, but I think if the if the political parties are, if we do have 2 years of gridlock, I think that actually would help the market because, I mean, I don't know. I also don't think that windfall tax on oil companies has a
That's
chance.
big news.
That is big news. I mean, that doesn't have a chance in hell of passing.
So what Robbie's talking about is Biden has been teasing a windfall tax on oil companies because they make too much in profits right now.
Yeah. Although someone asked about Pfizer and no one said a word, which was strangely ironic. But I mean, kind of getting back to the oil companies, like, I don't think a windfall tax right now. I mean, if anything, get them to fucking drill. I mean, you realize, like, heating oil is at like $5.60 right now. I mean, it could go $7-8 a gallon. I mean, hey, look, personally, I don't care. I'm locked in. But I'm sure a lot of other people do. It's just, I don't know. Also, like, did you see the market rallied on the end of COVID zero in China?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so there was a rumor going around that Beijing was going to end the COVID zero policy, which is basically like, entire cities locked down. When you have like COVID cases, Shanghai would be a perfect example. And there was some speculation going around that Beijing was going to stop that policy, but that was quickly shot down. And through I think Beijing's spokespeople, and through, I don't know if you followed it, the Foxconn debacle that's been going on. Foxconn, they manufacture the iPhone like 14. So they had So they had a couple of COVID cases there, but they locked down the whole factory.
Yikes!
It was a pretty big deal. I mean, it's like 200, tens of thousands of employees who work for these guys, and
they shut down the whole thing, huh?
So they shut down the whole thing, but then, like, supposedly they ran out of food. So you saw all these Twitter videos of Foxconn, like, workers, like, leaving, like, climbing fences, digging holes under fences, just the whole shebang. Like,
wow.
It was pretty, yeah, I mean, which, makes you, like, financially for Apple, if they can't produce, like, iPhones, that's kind of a problem. Not that I want, Foxconn workers to starve. It's not good, but I mean, there's a lot of these videos. Like, there was a woman who worked for a Foxconn plant. She got on the back of an oil tanker and just rode on that for 20 miles or something like that. Yeah, I mean, some
like
of the
stories, people in Afghanistan trying to hang on to the wings of the plane.
Yeah, I mean, some of the videos and stories are insane. I mean, there's also like a group that broke today, and they just started walking. I think it was the road or the highway or whatever, and then it's just crazy, man. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the lady who reports this stuff. I follow her on Twitter. I just can't keep it in mind.
So this is pretty fresh information. This zero COVID 1 day ago, 7 hours, 15 hours, 22 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and I think how that relates to like finance a little bit. I mean, if the Chinese, it's one of the biggest consumer bases in the absolute world. As the Al Jazeera, not Al Jazeera, but as Nikkei Asia reported there, when can we live a free life? I mean, that's a solid, that's a solid question. I mean, especially, economically. I mean, the Chinese consumer is one of the most powerful in the world. And if they are just locked down in their homes all day, that's not really helping anyone.
And they've had issues with citizens being able to withdraw money from their bank, things like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Shanghai, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I mean, that whole situation for for their financial markets and their economy. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out, and see if there is like a public uprising against against that policy and whatnot.
They're rioting in Brazil right now. They don't think the election was on the up and up.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Brazil politics to even talk about.
Nor do I. I just
Yeah.
saw some pictures, and there's a lot of people advocating.
Yeah, I mean it's not good. I know that much. I mean, I know the truckers and farmers who are were protesting against that. I mean, you hope that the country doesn't go into anarchy. I mean, it's not being widely reported though, which is interesting. I guess the guy who won is supposedly he's been thrown in jail a couple times or something like that.
Any Brazilian women looking to escape, I'll get you a green card.
There you go. Well, we help everyone at Fox Talk Live. Stock Talk Live.
Manners was looking for a green card yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Kirk was yelling at him, and so he said, "Can anyone get me a green card?" He said, "Kirk needs me."
I'm not touching that.
I thought it was a funny tweet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Speaking of funny tweets, I got this one. This is one of the 2 clips I have remaining. Our friend Jim Cramer's back. This is from last week when Meta reported earnings. Listen to this clip. He's like on the verge of tears. He's actually like choked up about this. This is Jim Cramer talking about Meta. You might know him as Facebook.
Free cash flow last year, 9.5 billion, now less than 1 billion. Okay, let me say this about this. I made a mistake here. I was wrong. I trusted this management team. That was ill-advised. Hubris here is extraordinary. And I apologize.
Okay. What did you get wrong?
I had a belief that there was a recognition that there is a amount that you can't spend. Contrast that, for instance, with Jim Farley, who took a project that was his, Argo, and closed it because it was not ready. It was not near enough. This situation is almost a rogue situation. I had thought there would be an understanding that you just can't spend and spend right through your free cash flow. That there had to be some level of discipline, and I didn't get it. But David, what did I get wrong? I trusted them, not myself. For that, I regret.
Okay.
I've been in this business for 40 years, and I did a bad job. I'm
Look,
not proud.
You're not alone.
Proud.
You're not alone, Jim. Morgan Stanley today downgrades it for the first time.
So, really dumbed down analysis of Meta. The metaverse sucks, and they dumped billions of dollars into it, and nobody's using it. It's not popular. Listen, I have an Oculus. Well, they rebranded it from Oculus. It's now the Meta Quest 2. I have one of those headsets. I love it. A lot of the games are really awesome. They're actually really affordable compared to like a PlayStation, an Xbox game, even a PC game. You're going to pay $65 now.
Yeah.
A lot of the VR games are like a very expensive one would be $29.99 for like an A-list game. I really like the product, but I mean, as far as the metaverse stuff, and like I remember, was it Kanye or Snoop Dogg had bought like property in the metaverse, and it's like, this is just a farce. And I don't think that NFTs should be lumped in there because it's something completely different, but it is often lumped in for reasons to go against GameStop, and I'll bring them back around.
I mean,
The metaverse stinks.
Yeah, I mean, Kramer. I mean, a couple thoughts on that. Honestly, like Kramer's just. Oh, I'm hacking up a lung all of a sudden. Must have smoked a freaking, whatever. Did not. Smoked a couple Marlboros in that video. No, I think Kramer. I mean, I'm happy that he apologized. That's great. That's good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stock analysts who've made crap calls the past 20, 30 years, having never owned it, just like gone on their merry way. So hey, good for him. And he did it on one of the most watched financial networks in the world. It's on every fucking trading desk in America. We've talked about that. I mean, that's great. I mean, I love the apology to fucking Bear Stearns and Lehman, but and AIG and Fannie and Freddie, but hey, gotta. I mean, I didn't lose money, but yeah, I mean, you gotta be taking one day at a time, one loss at a time.
Yeah,
I think Facebook is, metaverse Facebook, whatever you want to call it. I mean, Facebook's popularity is waning. I think we all know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one of the worst things that they did was do the stupid status thing. Where people can, I mean, seriously, because everyone posts their best life, and and people have gotten in so many stupid like Facebook beefs, and it kind of ruined it.
Yeah, it's for me at least. It's really just like a birthday reminder.
Yeah, I mean,
lets me know when my friends' birthdays are that I don't have memorized.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that. I think a lot of people use it for like pictures and stuff like that. I mean, obviously having a daughter, I mean,
and they own Instagram, so that's good.
Yeah, they own Instagram, and I think a lot of people are on Instagram, but I don't think that Facebook's popularity is what it was. And I think with the adaptation of like everything is turning freaking political now, I think it tunes out a lot of people because they just don't want to know their friends' opinions on certain issues, and that's their right. I mean, whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, I saw in that clip it was at 100. It probably has more to fall. I hate to say that, but
and it'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they'll do a rebrand or whatever. I mean,
a lot of people think Tesla's going to drop more to the 180, 150 range. And that doesn't mean that Tesla's bad, is going out of business, anything like that. It's a lot of people are taking it as an opportunity to dollar cost average down.
Yeah, it's ebbs and flows, I mean, Tesla has a product though that like if you don't have like $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 though, you can't get in.
Right.
And that's I mean, I don't know so many people in America that have like $70,000 to drop on an electric car that they can only go like what 300 miles before a new charge, and yeah, I'm probably off.
I think it's over 400, but yeah, and point taken.
I mean, look, so let's just start having charging stations at Saratoga. I'm not gonna freaking buy a Tesla. I'll tell you that.
I told you if you're going to Saratoga, let me know. I'll meet you out there.
Yeah, I'll see you in like 2055.
It's a fun little town, though.
It's the best. I love that place. I went there. Man, I love that place. I went there during COVID with my wife. We had so. I mean, granted, we couldn't watch the races, but it's just a fun town.
Oh yeah,
it's just a fun town, man.
Very pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good time. It's just a good time. Had some good meals. Had some good laughs. Saw some questionable Uber drivers, but you know what? Hey, we all got home safe. Guy just blew a red light. He's like, "Oh, the cops are on." Anyway, like, yeah, dude, it's like 2 a.m. I'm pretty sure they are. But, I mean, I know we talked about Meta. Amazon got shellacked.
Yeah,
and that was
as Amazon, Facebook, and Apple.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon got killed. And that, I mean, that to me is the biggest warning sign of the economy. Everyone shops on Amazon. Everyone.
But I think with younger people, the large sentiment is, I keep saying sentiment today. I think
It's a good word.
a lot of young people are anti Amazon and they want to buy local or buy from somebody else. Like I mentioned with Ryan Cohen and Chewy creating
Mhm.
competition. You know, you can get pet supplies on Amazon, no problem. And
Yeah.
if you're a Prime member, you can get it the next day probably. But if you have a better customer experience with Chewy and their prices are competitive, people move away from there. And at least for me, I feel better when I get something and I could buy it on Amazon, but I get it somewhere else. I feel better about myself because Amazon's got enough, I think.
Yeah, I feel the same thing like with Walmart. You know,
I always look. I mean, I like spending money at GameStop. I like the company, love the company actually, and I'll always, if there's something I'm gonna buy on Amazon, I always check GameStop. They got price match. You can usually get 2-day shipping at
yeah.
at no additional cost. They just don't have a lot of the VR headset stuff, so I did end up getting. I got a golf club attachment because I play the golf game a lot.
Oh,
I got a
nice.
golf club attachment from I did get that on Amazon.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I just think Amazon is definitely like a warning sign for the economy. I mean, I think it's a warning sign for the economy when people aren't shopping there because it's so flipping easy. I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm really interested to see, like in the fourth quarter how Target and other
Oh
companies,
yeah.
other retailers do as well. Walmart. I mean, you know, I ordered like diapers and children's Tylenol for Victoria. I mean, supposedly it was 2 day shipping. It came, ordered it like Monday night. It came today. Yeah, that's technically 2 day shipping, but I mean, they don't have to do that. So,
Right.
you know, I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, it's interesting. It's very, I don't, I'm really curious to see how Amazon does in the fourth quarter. I mean, because I think that'll really divulge the true state of the economy. Um, I think Black Friday. I mean, I'm already seeing like Black Friday ads. I mean, dude, it's like November 2nd. Like, for God's sakes, guys.
right. Yeah. And
seems a little
Cyber
early.
Monday, all that.
Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to hold out. I wanted to hold out for that golf club attachment, but I wanted it. I'll use it, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually. I messaged Andrew Augustus because he's looking at picking up a VR headset, and I told him about it. I was like, "Listen, I've been watching this thing. Maybe it's because I had it in my cart, and they know." But the price of the thing dropped $10. So I'm like, I gotta buy it.
No,
So.
no. I mean, yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta get it.
You got a comment here. Any advice if someone wins the Powerball?
Where's that from?
Take the lump sum.
Yeah, take the lump sum. What else? Invest in stuff that's gonna pay dividends just to keep your principal. I think that's I think that's what you should do.
Don't tell a lot of people.
Yeah, don't
hire
tell a lot of
hire a
people.
lawyer and a financial advisor.
Yeah. Oh, right on signature on the back of the ticket. Yeah, get a fire.
Put that baby in a fireproof safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you imagine if you ever won that? I don't even know what I would do.
I'd buy up the remaining float of GameStop. or I'd buy as much as I'm allowed to own. So I'd probably buy 10% of 10% share of GameStop, be an insider.
Oh, dude, I would. I mean,
and I'd probably get my parents a nice house that's not in upstate New York. As winter approaches, going to buy real estate. Sig says,
yeah, dude.
Maybe not right now. I'd wait a little bit to buy property because you might be able to get a discount.
I mean, we're up in Victoria. I'd definitely get a summer house somewhere. I'd actually just get one. Honestly, I'd just buy out whoever lives closest to the track. So I don't,
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I would do, I'd definitely put like a huge, like $100,000 wager on some kind of sports game
Yeah.
just for the rush.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would invest some of it, obviously. I would definitely buy a summer house in Saratoga. Probably buy a summer house in, I don't know. I probably,
So you're coming away with about $500 million after taxes.
yeah. I mean, I go eat at, what's it called? The Squire at Chatham. In Chatham. I love that place. It was funny. Yeah. I was watching. We, in 2019, when we got back, the Chatham Bars Inn was literally on, what's it called? It was on Priceline for like $165 or something. It was one of those, like, and we stayed down there 2 nights, and we went there, and I mean, Squire was just a fucking bomb. I mean, best lunch I've ever had. Just steamers and lobster rolls, just great. A couple giraffes walking around Chatham. Went back that night. Spent a lot of money that weekend. It was all worth it.
Speaking of steamers and lobster rolls, I booked my hotel for Portland today.
Oh, nice. Where are you staying?
So officially going.
Yeah. All right.
Courtyard Marriott.
I love the Courtyard.
The one I usually stay at is the Holiday Inn Portland by the Bay.
Yeah.
It's all booked up that weekend, so I just picked another one. I've walked down that street. I know what the walk is like. It's not going to be that bad. So just whatever hotel. I don't really care.
No, I know. Oh man, if I hit Powerball, I wouldn't work either. I would just be a mess.
I'd work and just be a dick.
No.
Go ahead and fire me. I don't care. I'm doing this to stay busy.
Oh, dude, I'll be on a plane every other day.
Probably get a penthouse suite in like the Wynn or something and live like Brent Musburger. Just live in the casino. He does. He lives in the casino, and he does his Sirius XM show on VSiN, Vegas Sports Insider Network, or whatever it's called, Sports Information Network. He lives in the casino. Work is in the same building. DGen.
What banks could handle that amount? Anyone in the country.
Yeah.
I mean,
spread it around a little bit.
If that, I mean, just go to a good one. I mean, they can't give out 500 and something million of bad loans. I mean, they could try, but I mean, I do wonder how long it would take to clear. I mean, it would take a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, someone at my work was playing it. He hit the Powerball. He was like, "Oh, I won $4." I'm like, "All right, sweet. Good talk. See you out there."
Yeah, I see these articles pop up on Microsoft Edge when I open up a new tab, and it's like someone hit the Powerball minus 4 numbers, and it's like, "Oh, cool. So, just another loser then."
Yeah, basically.
I had one more clip here today, Robbie.
Go ahead.
Loosely bringing this back. We were talking about Amazon a bit. I have the Overstock CEO. If you don't remember, Overstock was highly, highly shorted. And so he's got a little bit of a vendetta. This is Patrick Byrne, the Overstock CEO. He's talking about Goldman Sachs and their securities lending department, and just how much of Goldman Sachs, how much of their business relies on securities lending. Let's take a listen to Patrick Byrne, the CEO of Overstock.
So Goldman Sachs, we were in this lawsuit, and they were forced to, after 8 years of fighting, to turn up. How big is this obscure thing called securities lending? Securities lending, there's a desk within all the big banks called securities lending. How big was it? I knew it was at least 5%. I thought it might be 15%. 15% at Goldman Sachs would be quite a large number. Heard rumors it might be as big as a quarter of Goldman Sachs came from this thing called securities lending people didn't know much about 10 years ago. Well, the answer turns out to be 75%. 75% of Goldman Sachs' revenue comes from an activity that they have kept that has been obscured from the public. It's called securities lending, and this is why it cost me $30 million to get that piece of paper.
Hey.
So I don't know what that was obviously an edited video, not my own.
Yeah.
I don't know what paper he was specifically talking about, but probably like the ruling for the lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are protected, protect themselves on that. A lot of firms.
Helicopter is a must-have if you win the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times have I been stuck in traffic on 95 and just said, Bill Burr's got a bit about this. What if I just had a helicopter and and just skip all that traffic, man?
Have you ever been in a helicopter?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good time. I took one to honeymoon. The wife and I.
No, not a helicopter. It was a 3-person or 3-seater plane. Sorry.
Yeah, we were
Or 4 seats, or 3 of us in it.
Yeah, when we went to wife and I for our honeymoon, went to St. Lucia, and like the roads to the resorts are just ridiculous. They're just windy and curvy and whatever. And after a 5-hour flight and getting married, it's not something we want to deal with. So we took a helicopter to basically the Sandals, like just outside, and we got driven there. Yeah, it was great, man. 7 minutes. The views are insane. It's just awesome.
I saw Dante from Barstool. He tweeted a blog that he wrote months ago. He's based in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, you can rent a helicopter to take you from I think it's from downtown Chicago. It'll take you to O'Hare, and you can get there in 15 minutes. It's like under $200. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know like what that drive is like, but from like Northwestern's campus to get to O'Hare took me like 45 minutes.
Yeah, you hit that wrong, dude. It's over. I mean,
I also stopped for gas, but
yeah. Well, Chicago traffic's no joke. Same with New York. I mean, we took I went to Chicago. We took an Uber. I mean, it took us a pretty long time to get to O'Hare, and O'Hare is a huge airport. I mean,
enormous.
Yeah, I mean, the place is insane. I mean, JFK actually has like a lot of great beverage options and food options.
Expensive.
I had a nice breakfast there.
It's like the priciest beer, priciest airport beer in the country.
Yeah. I mean,
$24 a pint sometimes.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. My eggs Benny was good, and I was nursed back to health. So
shout out Young Leg.
Yeah. So hey, what are you gonna do? Oh man, kind of been all over the place tonight. Not with financial news, but it's all right. What are you gonna do? But do you have anything else? Or
yeah, I had one other thing. This from last week, I think, either Thursday or Fridays after we were on.
Mm-hmm.
Couple firms being investigated for overlapping board seats on companies, and is this a conflict of interest? That and just came out today. I saw Republicans are going after Gary Gensler for some 11-year-old malfeasance or questionable activities. But it happened 11 years ago, so at least somebody's doing something, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, there's no time like the present, right? Do something. It's amazing, and it's not getting any play, and it doesn't matter to me anymore. But I truly feel bad for people who it does matter. Is that and it's a story that's like flown by the wayside. Is the baby formula shortage is still going on strong. It's really sad. I hope someone would do a report on it, because it's kind of ridiculous. I know there's other
baby
people
formula, diesel, energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a long time. I really feel for people who waiting around chasing a lot of stores.
That's another thing Facebook's good for is finding those groups to, hey, I need formula. Can anybody help me out? Yeah, it's a great networking.
Dude, I bought
platform.
9 cans due to someone posting a link. It was some place out of Brooklyn. I told the story before. Yeah, it is. It was clutch because BJ's as well. Someone told me a hack. Basically, you just do a 1-day membership at BJ's, and I went in with guns blazing, and here we go. It was a pretty happy day when I got that tracking number. Sadly enough, I mean, because that was in the throes of when it really wasn't around.
Yeah,
but we'll get you through it here on Stock Talk Live.
That's right.
All about here. But at the post, I think there's only one thing to do.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Remember to pump it up.
Pump it up.
See you next time.
30. Go to 30, GMA. Let's roll.
45. Pump it up to 45. See you next time, guys.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know?